Hi. I can't get over how close this is. Hi. So you might be recognizing that I'm at home right now. If you're familiar with the fact that I've been at college for the past couple of months, I'm at home now. Change in background, change in scenery. My name is Iris, for those of you who don't already know me. Today I'm going to be talking about some of the gender affirming things I have done. I'm feeling honestly a little out of sorts right now. If I seem a little weird, different energy today. I just finished finals week, just finished shooting my thesis, which was a short film. Lots of feelings wrapped up in that, so I'm doing kind of weird. And also the airline lost my suitcase yesterday. Anyway, let's get into the topic of this video so that I can not think about that and so I can think about something else. So I came out as non-binary to my family in the summer of 2020, and then I came out on like YouTube in sort of early 2021. So I've been out for a while. I know a lot of people have seen sort of my gender type content, and I just wanted to do another video kind of talking about specifically the gender affirming things I've done for myself that I feel like are just like self-care for genderqueer people, but me specifically. Let's get into it. The number one thing I did, or like the thing I always think of that I did that was gender affirming for me, was getting my ears pierced. Like the day I realized that I was non-binary, it wasn't gonna go away, was in summer of 2020. One of the things I've been doing was putting these like kind of fake earrings on my ears, and I realized like that made me feel a certain type of way. So I promised myself that once it was safe to do so, because pandemic, you know, I would get my ears pierced, and I did, and it actually was awesome. It was like a very big deal for me because I never wanted to get my ears pierced growing up. I think because it's kind of tied into a social expectation for women to get your ears pierced, and so I just kind of very much so distanced myself from that. So when I was able to be like, oh wait, I actually want to do that, that's cool, it was a total different experience for me, and I feel like I took ownership of it in a different way. I have just overall rethunk the way I wear jewelry. I avoided it for so long because it's so wrapped up in presentational femininity, but I've completely like changed my attitude about wearing jewelry. Like I very much so love wearing jewelry now, and that brings us to the sponsor of today's video. Segue. As some of you may know, I'm an Ana Luisa ambassador now. If you don't already know, Ana Luisa is a 100% carbon neutral direct-to-consumer jewelry brand based out of New York. So what do all those words mean exactly? Ana Luisa has offset all of their carbon emissions from like running the office to producing the jewelry to sending it to your door. And they don't mark up their prices because they feel like it's important to, keep cute jewelry, cute sustainable jewelry accessible. Ana Luisa uses 100% recycled silver and gold, and they also recently released a line of pieces with lab-grown diamonds, which have the same like chemical, physical, and optical qualities as mined diamonds, but without like the environmental and human costs of mined diamonds. And you can trace where all of their metals are sourced from on the website, which I think is really important and useful for people who want to know that information and like want to be able to make informed choices, because a lot of brands just don't provide that information. So for a fact that Ana Luisa is actually making an effort to be transparent about their practices. Okay, let's take a look at what I got this month. So first off, I have the low medium earrings, which I am wearing right now. I love these. These are a very good everyday hoop. I didn't own any kind of gold hoop before these, and they're kind of an essential, to be honest. Next up, I have the Ursa Rouge necklace, which has like, I'll insert like closer pictures. There's a reminder for editing, Iris, insert the cute close pictures. I also have the Ursa Rouge necklace, which is very dainty, very pretty. I feel like this would be a very good like buy it for your girlfriend, boyfriend, adorable little pretty necklace. And then last up, I received the Mara Onyx ring, which is like super androgynous vibes. I feel like it's just so stunning, honestly. And I think they're actually not selling this anymore. They make their jewelry in small batches, so that makes pretty much a lot of their pieces like limited edition. If you see something you like on the website, you should probably buy it, especially if it's in the last chance zone. And right now they're having a sale on the website for 10% off and up to 60% off like last chance items, such as this previously was. So go check them out. I'll have the link in the description. Thank you, Luisa, for sponsoring today's video. I really appreciate it. For some reason, I feel like I'm talking really slow right now. And it could just be the exhaustion. Forgive me. Next thing, another gender affirming thing I have done. I'm like trying to think of like doable things, you know, for that other people could also do. But next thing is I bought a binder. Oh, crazy. I made a video about this. If you haven't already seen it, I'll have it linked below. Or maybe linked up here. I don't know. It'll be linked somewhere. But I bought a binder. And I actually haven't worn it since I filmed that video because I got really sick and then I was recovering from that, and then I was working these super physically demanding, intense film shoot days. So I haven't had a chance to wear it since I got it, pretty much just for my own health, because it didn't really feel like it was the healthy time for me to be doing that. It's a little harder to breathe in a binder, not gonna lie. Also, it's winter, so I've been wearing a lot of layers, so I feel less like dysphoric about how my clothing looks on me. But having the option is so exciting to me. I used to have, actually I still have this sports bra. I thought I lost it. It was just here at home, so that's exciting. I basically was using a sports bra to bind for a while, and now I have a real binder, and it is different. Basically letting myself have the option and accepting like, okay, that's not going to go away and maybe you should invest in a binder has been awesome. Okay, next thing I have done is I cut my hair short. It's honestly grown out quite a bit now. I can put it in a ponytail, which is great. And I'm probably going to cut it short again just because I feel good when it's short. I don't know. But it does make a huge difference in like the gender feelings. I definitely look and feel a little bit more girly, not even that way. I look a bit more girly when my hair is long, but more so like that comes across in like gender expression and not really how I feel. I think it used to be a lot more tied into how I feel. Like when my hair was longer, I would feel more girl-ish, and when it was shorter, I would feel more boy-ish. But I don't necessarily feel that way anymore because I think I've removed myself enough from like how gender expression is perceived from like my own self-image and like my own gender experience, but that's not like true for everybody. So cutting your hair short can be really great, or even like cutting your hair in some sort of vaguely androgynous way. Like I know a lot of people have commented on my videos saying like my parents won't let me cut my hair short. I'm so sorry that is determining the way you look, honestly, and maybe the way you feel in your body. Like, I'm so sorry that that's the situation. You could try getting a shag if they'll allow that. That tends to be a bit longer. My haircut that I get when it's like super short is like a short shag. That is what it is. Highly recommend that because it's just an incredibly androgynous haircut. My heart goes out to anyone whose parents are maybe limiting the ways that they can express themselves. It will not necessarily always be this way. Another thing I have done for myself in my gender journey is like exploring my fashion. As a lot of you know, I've done a lot of androgynous fashion videos, and sometimes I can get caught up in comparing that fashion to the other fashion content I see, which is like super put together, feminine or masculine, and not really in between. My fashion sense is very casual and very in the middle. And sometimes I can feel like I'm just not as well dressed as other people, which maybe it's because I dress so casually. I am a little insecure about it sometimes, but I also like love how I have explored my fashion and tried out new things, and like, especially about like getting looser fitting pants. That's definitely been a this year kind of discovery, getting some jeans that are like too long for my legs. Loose fitting pants, get some of those. I only wore like skinny fit pants for so long, which is just like who was she? So yeah, letting yourself explore your fashion, put things you wouldn't normally put together, shop in the other gender section. I'm not gonna say opposite, but like the opposite gender section, like you know what I mean. But yeah, I spent a lot of high school like shopping in the men's section, and I think I like kind of freely go back and forth now because there are some women's section things I like. I think that I definitely, at the beginning, I was very much so leaning into like heavy masculine compensation, and now I feel like way more free to just do what I want to do and know that like dressing in a feminine way doesn't discredit my gender. How you express yourself doesn't discredit the way you feel. If you needed to hear that, I'm saying it to you. Also, you don't need to experience gender dysphoria to be not cisgender. The first way I described myself as like a genderqueer person was, okay, so I know I'm not cis. And then I was like, okay, I'll use the word genderqueer because I identified as queer. So that kind of like, that felt like the same thing to me. And it felt like those had always been related to me, which is like why I identified as queer in the first place. And then I started to accept like non-binary as a word I could use to describe myself. For a while, I distanced myself from that word, but now I feel very comfortable with it. And then also the word trans. There are some circumstances in which I will use it and I won't use it because there are very different trans experiences. And I am super, super privileged in my existence that like people don't direct violent hatred towards me on the daily because they kind of don't perceive me like I am not clocked, because who would, like, I'm just not, and that's a privilege. Okay, I don't even know what I was talking about before that. I was talking about clothing. What? Next thing, I was just sort of like, fuck it, pronouns, call me what you want. I actually kind of have an aversion to they them pronouns. It is on all of my things that, like right now, at the time of filming this video, all of my pronouns on social media things are she, he, they. And I actually kind of have an aversion to they them pronouns. I don't really like them, but I know that they're kind of a way for people to like affirm me without being like he, because like that's a step too far for some people. Embracing the whole different pronouns thing, basically just being like, I don't care what you call me, yeah. And like not even like trying to explain it to people in sort of a broad way. Like I never really did like a coming out post or anything on any social medias besides just like changing the pronouns in my bio. I sound like such Gen Z right now. Excuse me. How embarrassing. I am embarrassed. What was I saying? I basically just started using more pronouns. And, you know, when I hear someone use a little he on me, I'm always like, thank you. And then kind of wrapped up into that, my last thing I'm going to say in this video, I see that as I'm probably about to go on another tangent, is that coming out was affirming to me. Having the people I care most about, like really know that solidly, was very affirming to me. But also having conversations with trans and non-binary friends, because often those conversations are us affirming each other and affirming each other's experiences. Ugh, my camera's about to stop recording. 1 minute. Often those conversations are us affirming each other's experiences, basically talking about our experiences and being like, oh wait, yeah, I feel the same way about that thing. Like I've had lots of conversations like that, and all of them feel really great because you feel seen and heard and understood. So if you have trans or non-binary friends, that can be really awesome. That being said, luckily I have some really good friends. This conversation can sometimes not be awesome, especially if you have friends who aren't necessarily prone to validating your experiences. You kind of need to grasp who you're talking to, and if someone isn't validating your feelings, then maybe just like know that that doesn't actually say anything about you. You're allowed to feel the way you do, and maybe something's going on with them. Who knows? But friends should validate each other, and among young people, that can be a hard thing to find because everybody's still learning and growing. So high schoolers, take note. Your friends, no matter how good of friends they are, can sometimes like be not the best friends just because everyone is still learning and growing. And you can have conversations about that, or you can just sort of like not if you don't want to. But I have found having conversations about gender to be really great. Okay, that's my list of gender affirming things I have done. If you have gender affirming things that you have done, comment, because this is really just my experience. Like lots of people go on hormone replacement therapy. Clearly I don't have a lot of practice saying that phrase. A lot of people go on HRT, and I don't have that experience, but that can be really great for some people if that feels like a step for you. I'm just going to include that in here, but it's really just not part of my experience, so I don't want to talk about it and make you think that I'm in any way informed about that, because I am not. I hope that you found some comfort in this video in some way. I feel good right now. I'm tired. I'm in a weird mood. Can you tell? It's freezing in my room right now. So I'm gonna go now. I'm acting like I'm hanging up the phone. I don't know what's happening right now. Make sure you check out Annalisa. Link in the description. Thank you, Annalisa, for sponsoring. I appreciate you. I'll see you in the next one. I'm in an absolute state right now. Don't look at me. What is that? What is that? Also, don't let anybody, sorry, so sad now because I was just doing that. Hi. I can't get over how close this is. Whenever anybody makes a comment about themselves on the internet in a disparaging way, if you have that same thing going on, please don't take that to your own heart, okay? Like, people are way more comfortable about saying things about themselves that they would never, like, really even think about another person. Like, it's very easy to apply that to yourself, especially if someone is kind of honestly exaggerating online or like saying things for entertainment value. Like, I was just saying, like, what is this? What is this? Like, I actually genuinely don't give a shit because my body is just doing what it's doing. But I was doing it for the relatable entertainment value. Don't listen to anybody online. Including me. But you're not, now I know I should go before you. Get me caught in your rope, in my hope I see you.